platinum's sitting where probably lithium was in 2018, 2019. And so we're really starting to see that hockey stick of growth occur from demand out of the hydrogen industry for platinum for use in electrolyzers and fuel cell EVs.
Hello and welcome to Paydirt TV. I'm Dominic Piper. Today I'm joined by Jadi Kinmont, Managing Director of Future Metals NL. Jadi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me in.
Big news recently with on the Panton project, your flagship project. Yeah, this is you've had everything in place for a while. It seems you've had the resource, high-grade core to it, a plan around being able to mine it, but now you've had that real breakthrough that you were looking for, a breakthrough on the processing flow sheet. Can you explain exactly what have you achieved?
Yeah, so there's a couple of legs to why we're excited about the most recent announcement. I guess leg one is demonstrating repeatability and consistency of the flotation results. So we now know that we can achieve a high-grade saleable concentrate with good recovery, so 80% recoveries in 250 grams per tonne concentrate grade. And that would be a kind of bulk nickel PGM concentrate going into the non-ferrous smelting market. But then that's also further supported by really strong ore sorting results. So we've done a bulk ore sort test which has shown very high recoveries of the high-grade core that you refer to, the high-grade reef, separating out the low-grade, separating out the waste, which is very important for improving economics of the underground mine, improving the feed that goes through the mill, and really combos well with those flotation results that we've achieved there.
We should probably take a step back actually and look at the Panton PGE project, nickel PGE project as a whole. It's been around a long time. Future Metals has had the project a couple of years now. How did you enter the project, and what was the opportunity that the company saw there?
Yeah, I think the genesis of the opportunity was there was a spotlight shone on PGMs, likely from the discovery of Chalice, and Panton had been sitting really dormant in Panoramic's portfolio for quite some time. So I guess the founding shareholders of Future Metals secured that asset, listed it via RTO into the now Future Metals listing. And the opportunity was really to demonstrate a feasible plan to mine both the high grade resource that's at Panton, which is the highest grade deposit, PGM deposit in Australia, but also the broad mineralised widths of disseminated mineralisation that sit around that. So the strategy, or the evolution of the strategy, is really focused on that high grade core, given that is a point of differentiation for Future Metals. But certainly that disseminated material does give us expansion opportunities moving down the track as well.
You mentioned Chalice and its Julimar discovery. PGMs are so caught up in this clean energy future narrative. Can you explain a little bit about where PGMs may sit compared to probably more recognisable clean energy metals like lithium or nickel or rare earths? Yeah,
certainly. I think it's the PGM trade's probably a contrarian one at the moment. There's a lot of money obviously chasing the next big rare earths find or lithium find. Where PGM's big use case is currently in catalytic converters for combustion engine vehicles and hybrid vehicles. And certainly that's going to be the key market for it moving forward. But where it really becomes exciting as a growth market is particularly platinum's use in fuel cell vehicles and electrolyzers. We see that being a very big growth market, particularly on the back of the Inflation Reduction Act and the EU's Green Industrial Plan driving massive investment into the hydrogen sector, which will flow down into development of the fuel cell and electrolyzer industries as well. So I would say platinum's sitting where probably lithium was in 2018, 2019, and so we're really starting to see that hockey stick of growth occur from demand out of the hydrogen industry for platinum for use in electrolyzers and fuel cell EVs.
And I imagine, given Panton is here in Western Australia, there's an advantage given that most of the world's platinum and palladium production at the moment is sat in some higher risk jurisdictions, Russia in particular, and also South Africa and Zimbabwe.
Yeah, no, hugely. Panton's very much a strategic source of supply PGM's a critical mineral. They've been recognised as such by the Australian government. The supply dynamic at the moment for PGMs is incredibly shaky. It's very at risk to massive supply shocks. I think a lot of the Russian supply is now going through China, so there's a lot of Western consumers that have basically barred that supply from their supply chains, which does leave South Africa, which supplies 75% of the world's platinum and 40% of the world's palladium. And what we're seeing live right now is that they're in a state of emergency due to the lack of power availability. So the big operators there are really dealing with ongoing rolling blackout periods that are increasing, and that's eventually going to have an effect on price and help incentivise the Australian PGM sector out of the ground.
And back on to Panton itself, as well as the PGMs, you mentioned the nickel mineralisation there as well. You've got some other nickel sulphide targets I see that you're planning to have a crack at. Yeah,
the nickel sulphide exploration is a new one for the Panton story. We brought in John Hronsky to apply a new lens to our big mineralised sill that the resource sits in, and so what we're doing is looking for the nickel sulphides that sit outside of that resource. We had a small drill program in 2022 that has proved that there is nickel copper sulphide mineralisation sitting outside of that resource, and we've narrowed in on where that core or high grade accumulation is likely to be. We've identified an embayment feature, which is a sulphide trap on the tenement next door to ours that we've farmed into. So that's likely a surface expression of a feeder conduit sitting along the base of the keel, and now it's up to us to go out there in 2023 and hit the big broad zone of accumulated base metal sulfides.
That's an exciting and also ambitious target. What is the plan for the rest of 2023? Now you've got the flow sheet sorted, you've also got the exploration plans in place. Can we expect to see a lot of news flow for the rest of this year?
Yeah, you certainly can. We're actually still waiting on our biggest, probably most exciting drill hole assays to come back from the hole that we drilled through the entire sill in mid-January. So that'll likely be back in March sometime. We're also out there running downhole EM on each of the 7 holes that we drilled, and then we'll look to follow up on the embayment target and whatever else comes out of those EM surveys in May, with a drill program then, and then subsequent or parallel to that, we're also progressing obviously the scoping study on the main resource, which is a 3 million ounce high grade reef, and so we're currently recutting the resource to work better and reflect the metallurgical solution that we've come up with, and that'll then unlock mine design work and flow sheet design work, and then we'll certainly look to have a scoping study out to market in Q3, Q4.
An incredibly exciting 2023 coming up then. Jadi, thanks for joining us today. Best of luck, and hopefully we can catch up again when that scoping study results and the exploration results are out.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Dom.